Well, top on the brief this morning is the speedy passage of several bills in the bicameral chambers of the National Assembly. The lawmakers considered and passed an amendment to the Minimum Wage Act, increasing the sum to 70,000 naira for the least paid worker, and also provides a 3-year periodic review of the act. Also approved is the amended 2024 budget, now pegged at 35.05 trillion naira, pursuant to a letter by the president seeking additional 6.2 trillion naira for capital and recurrent spendings. However, the lawmakers increased it to 6.28 trillion naira. Other bills passed are the Finance Act Amendment Bill, the Police Act Amendment Bill, among others.
A bill for an act to amend the National Minimum Wage Act 2019 and to increase the national minimum wage and reduce the time for periodic review of the national minimum wage from 5 years to 3 years, and for related matters 2024. Third reading.
Well, in the Green Chambers, representatives want the federal government to suspend the chief executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Authority, Farouk Ahmed, pending conclusions of investigation into allegations against the authority. This follows a motion of urgent need to address the outrage resulting from unguarded comments by Mr. Farouk. Mr. Sosa Iyowe, who moved the motion, notes that the chief executive of the NNDPRA had stated that the diesel produced by Dangote Refinery is inferior to the ones imported into the country, and that their fuel had a large content of sulfur, which empirically was countered by the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, who seeks independent testing. And this has called for question to the quality of imported petroleum products into the country.
He is also concerned that the unguarded statement by the chief executive of this agency, which has since been disapproved, sparks an outrage of Nigerians who tagged his undemnely and local refineries as insistence on the continued importation of fuel, an act of economic sabotage, as the imported products have been shown to contain high levels of dangerous compounds. Mr. Speaker, the House resolves to call the federal government to suspend the chief executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Authority pending conclusive investigations into the allegations against the authority.
Well, besides a busy legislative day, a federal lawmaker representing Imo East Senatorial District, Ezenwa Onyewuchi, has dumped the Labour Party for the All Progressives Congress. Senate Majority Leader Kwemi Bamidele announced Onyewuchi's defection during plenary on Tuesday, and just next door as well, a member of the House representing Mr. Salman Idris, who also defected from the African Democratic Congress to the APC. The lawmaker, who represents Kaba Bunu Ijumu Federal Constituency, the Green Chambers, officially announced his political decision in a letter read to the floor on the floor of the House on Tuesday by the Speaker, Abbas Tajuddin.
The strangers are coming in to witness the cross-carpeting of one of our distinguished colleagues.
In the meantime, a challenge has been thrown to Alhaji Aliko Dangote by the NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer Mele Kyari to name NNPCL officials who own blending plants in Malta, maintaining that he does not own a blending plant. Mr. Kyari says he does not know of any employee of the NNPCL who owns such a facility in the island country in Europe. In a post on the microblogging site X, he asked the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Dangote, to publicly declare the NNPCL personnel who operate a blending plant in that country. Over the weekend, Africa's richest man and the owner of the $20 billion Dangote Refinery in Lagos says some NNPCL personnel and oil traders operate a blending plant in Malta, thereby frustrating local production of petroleum products. Let's get to that appeal from the nation's #1 citizen, President Bola Tinubu, asking organizers of the End Bad Governance protest to shelve the plan slated for August the 1st, that is next month. The president his appeal was conveyed by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, after meeting with his principal in the State House. According to him, they should wait for the president's response to all their pleas that border on economic hardship and the rising inflation across the country.
Mr. President has asked me to, again, inform Nigerians that he listens to them, especially the young people that are trying to protest. Mr. President is listening to them. He takes what they say seriously and is working assiduously to ensure that this country is good, not just for today, but also for the future. The issue of the planned protest, Mr. President does not see any need for that. He's asked them to shelve that plan. He's asked them to await government's response to all their pleas. He has listened to them, like I said, and a lot is happening. Only today, the National Assembly has expeditiously passed the new national minimum wage. You can see how the president is working. It was transmitted only yesterday. Today, it has been passed. A lot of other interventions that the president has also put in place are also going to be looked at expeditiously in the interest of Nigeria. So there's no need for strike. The young people out there should listen to the president and allow the president more time to see to the realization of all the goodies he has for them. For example, you saw that the federal government approved grains for and rice for state governments. It was delivered to them expeditiously also. The federal government is not, like I said that the other time, that it is not the necessary first step. Government is going to continue in that direction, supporting them and ensuring that whatever intervention that the federal government has put in place go to those that should benefit. It is very important that that is being put out. Federal government is looking at strategies to ensure that every intervention goes directly to those who benefit from those interventions, not middlemen.
In the meantime, the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, in sharing his perspective on the planned protest, describes it as politically motivated. He sees the planned protest as a decoy to divert the attention of Nigerians from efforts by the president, that's the President Bola Tinubu-led administration. Mr. Wike appeals to Nigerians to be patient with the federal government as modalities are being worked out to bring succor to citizens. Let's now talk business. The tightening continues as the Central Bank of Nigeria has again raised monetary policy rate MPR, which measures interest rate by 50 basis points to 26.75%. That's from 26.25% amid soaring inflation and skyrocketing food prices. The Apex Bank's governor, Olayemi Cardoso, announced this after the bank's 296th Monetary Policy Committee meeting in Abuja on Tuesday. The MPC adjusted the asymmetric corridor around the MPR from plus 100 to minus 300 to plus 500 to minus 100. That's basis point. It retained the cash reserve ratio, that's the CRR, of deposit money banks at 45%, merchant banks at 14%, and retained the liquidity ratio at 30%. Away from our shores, the United States, in that country, while the two big parties are racing against time to rally support for the candidates of their choice, U.S. Secret Service Director Kim Chittle has resigned after security failures surrounding an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. In a resignation letter to the agency staff, Chittle says she takes full responsibility for the security lapses. She had faced calls from both the Democrats and Republicans to step down after a contentious House committee hearing on Monday about the incident. Lawmakers were quite infuriated and unhappy when she refused to answer questions about the shooting at Trump's campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania earlier this month. Well, she now has a replacement. Now, barely days to the Olympics, Team Great Britain, Charlotte Dujardin, has dropped out of the Olympics and provisionally banned for 6 months over a video from 4 years ago allegedly showing her hitting a horse leg several times. The three-time Olympic champion said the video showed her making what she describes as an error of judgment during a coaching session. While she pulls out of the competition, the International Federation for Equestrian Sports, that's the FEI, will investigate the incident. Well, those are the stories we've been tracking for you, say, in the last 24 hours and earlier today, will form and shape part of our conversation for the program and perhaps the rest of the day. Bukola joins me now as we find out exactly what you're saying on X. Bukola.
Yes, indeed. Nigerians are saying quite a lot.